All right, boys, check this out. Gritty gritties. Gritty gritties. You love that kind? Which one? Big one, small one? Big one, small one, you pick. Probably, for some reason I think this one's got more cockery in it, but I don't know. Fuck, it's hard to tell with these fuckers, you know what I mean? But, let's start with the small one. Oh, shit. What are they even going to tell me? We're seeing this together, boys. Okay? We're seeing this together for the first time. Christopher Daniel Whitcroft. Oh, this is just my... Look at this bullshit. My taxes went up $421 a month. And it's for 10 months, I think. Yeah, January to October. So that's $4,200 hair nose for taxes for Inwood. $420 a month. Awesome. Okay, so this one's going to be the big cock show, I bet. Oh, that knife cut's fucking splendid. Oh, shit. What is this? Dear Mr. Quickcroft, attaches a letter. Please find the notice of the public meeting for your minor variance application. It has been scheduled for the 28th. Mr. County Chambers, a copy of the planner's report will be forwarded to you when received. Also attaches 2 copies of a colored notice. This notice must be posted as per the posting requirements attached. Understand the weather conditions will affect the quality of the notice. If you require another notice, please let me know and I'll forward one to you. Holy shit. Why do they put so many fucking words on here? Holy fuck. Look at this. What the fuck is this? Oh, fuck's sakes. Okay, so, fuck me in the ass.
Good afternoon, Municipality of Port Calvin, Cheryl speaking.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. I just got the public notice for the minor variance, like the papers that I'm supposed to put up or whatever.
For what now? Sorry.
I've requested like a minor variance, so I just received the public notice.
Okay.
And like I'm just wondering, like, you know, I'm 10 feet off the road. Can I just post it in my front window? Like there's 2 of them. So where should I post is there somebody there I could talk to that could give me or do you know, or?
Okay, hang on 1 second, okay?
Yep.
Hi.
Yep.
The second one is just a spare that if the other one was to get like blown away or something. But yeah, you can place it in your window.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep, thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye. Decent. So then we got an appointment on January 28th. So I'll post that in the window right now and smoke jankum. Oh, that's freaking perfect, eh? Right beside one fucking ham. Fucking right, man. And they can totally fucking Santas it. And if anybody's got a problemo, we'll see you on the 28th. So yeah, we'll have to wait till the 28th. Hopefully nobody wants to fuck around, because then that's just gonna prolong the process. But yeah, other than that, I think we might be almost kind of heading in the right direction, maybe. Because I've been getting rid of vehicles, so you know, man, it's like if I just like get them out of here, then they're out of here. And you can't say shit because they're not here, right? So I don't know. We'll find out here shortly, I expect. We'll find out here shortly, I expect. Well, here we go, boys. See how this turns out. So I got my little pocket recorder. Just get the old do-rag over it. Just look like nothing. And it was yesterday that I brought Abby to the vet, so not really in the mood for bullshit today. So basically, I gotta go give them a check for $550 so that they can have a meeting to tell me if I'm allowed to do
And is it okay if we just mail you the receipt after?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll call the meeting to order. The first thing is the adoption of the minutes from December 3rd, 2019 meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Yeah.
Frank? Wayne? All in favor? Okay, new business. This hearing is being held to consider an application for minor variance submitted by Chris Whitcroft. The applicant requests relief from section 10.1 of the municipal zoning bylaw 9 of 2013, which prohibits the expansion of an existing motor vehicle repair establishment on property zoned central commercial. How was notice given?
Notice was given by mailing notice of the hearing to every landowner within 120 meters of the subject land and by requesting the applicant to post the notice on the property. The notice was also posted on the municipal website and municipal bulletin board.
Rob, can you comment on the application, please?
I can. As you know, the applicant is proposing to construct a 864 square foot building addition that would be used by an existing auto repair business. We note that the Central Commercial 1 zone includes an extensive list of uses that are permitted on lands with this zoning. Most of the permitted uses are those that are typically found in a community central business area. However, certain existing uses, including the applicant's auto repair business, are listed as permitted uses. However, only those building structures and other features that existed on the date that the bylaw was passed are allowed. Any changes to the property, including the proposed building addition, are not allowed without a variance that will allow an expansion of the existing use. We note that the zoning bylaw defines a motor vehicle repair establishment as, and I quote, a building and or lands used for the servicing, repair, cleaning, polishing, lubricating and greasing of motor vehicles, and may include vehicular body repair and repainting, but shall not include any other auto use defined by the zoning bylaw. Therefore, no other motor vehicle uses, including motor vehicle sales, motor vehicle service, motor vehicle washing, and motor vehicle wrecking are permitted on the subject property. We did carry out a site visit to the property. We did note that a large number of vehicles in various states of condition are being stored on the property. There are several storage containers in proximity to the lot line along Weedman Road line, and a sign on the property states that scrap metal is being collected. These activities are not associated with the operation of a motor vehicle repair establishment. If the application is approved, changes to the property should be made to allow the operation of an auto repair use and a video production use only. The video production use would be considered to be a permitted commercial use. This would be addressed by council as part of a site plan agreement. Your chief building official has reviewed the application, has recommended certain conditions that should be made part of the committee's approval. And I've listed those 4 conditions. Namely, the first one, and actually Crean can speak to them more or better than I can, but the key ones, I think, from the standpoint of the addition itself, is that the building permits that are required are to be obtained for all proposed structures, which includes compliance with all applicable law. There is a concern about a trailer on the property and whether it's being utilized as a residential unit. And then lastly, the property is to be brought into compliance with the municipal tidy yard and property standards bylaws. St. Clair Region Conservation Authority has noted that the property is affected by its regulations. They've noted that the applicant must receive the written permission prior to work being undertaken on the proposed addition. So our recommendation is that this department has no objection to the approval of this application, subject to the following conditions. First, that the approved minor variance will only allow the proposed 864 square foot building addition. No other buildings or structures, and these would be new buildings or structures, are to be placed on the property. Applicant must enter into a site agreement with the municipality, and then the 4 conditions that your building official has noted. And then lastly, written permission from the Conservation Authority. I will also note that there was a concern expressed by one committee member that some of these conditions are beyond what the committee deals with, and we agree. Most of those conditions, in fact, I think all of them, would be matters between the applicant and council to deal with, okay? But I just wanted it on the record as far as what we would be looking for with regards to moving it forward with council and tying the two together.
Say that again, like these points here, that's between us and Chris, you say, between the
Yes.
council?
Council and the applicant, correct.
Oh,
Namely, the site plan agreement is gonna be the key one that will tie all of these other matters largely together.
So Rob, should this be granted, it's not fully granted until there's a site plan approval in place?
It would not take effect until those conditions have been addressed.
and does St. Clair have anything to say about this, for conservation, they approved it, they say about here?
No, they simply expressed that the property is affected by the regulations, so it's in the regulated area, and they need to give written permission before the addition can be constructed.
So if we pass this and they say no, then what happens?
Then the variance would have no effect. And the addition would be moving forward. I believe, not speaking for the Conservation Authority, given the nature of the property, the regulated area, when they revised that a number of years ago, it took in huge areas of the county. This property, I saw nothing unique on the property that leads me to believe that the Conservation Authority would refuse it. But they simply want to provide written permission before it moves forward. So I don't think that's gonna be a condition that causes the applicant any significant concerns.
One thing I seen on there, that tidy yard thing, so that's gotta be all cleaned up before we even look at this application, is that what's going on here?
That is up to council's discretion, if that's what their choice is to do. It could be done by agreement, that it happens simultaneously, by a deadline date. It's ultimately up to council how they want to approach the tidy yard and property standards piece of it to get the property back into compliance. There's numerous ways we can do the agreement. It could be cleaned up before, it may be that you'll want it within, done concurrently with the building permit being issued, because maybe some of the items will end up in to the addition itself. And it also gives them time to clean it up, so it's ultimately up to council, but it will be done through the orders and through agreement with council. So there would be orders issued with a deadline for the applicant to comply by. And it would outline what are the compliance items, like if there's derelict vehicles with no plates, there should be removed. And it would talk about, any of the other items that are on the property that need to go, if there's parts, tires, things like that, that are in contravention of the property standards, tidy yard bylaws.
So would you do that in stages, or everything's gotta be done before we even think about this, or what? How's that work?
That's why I clearly made the distinction between what the committee's concerns might be. It will ultimately, and I fully agree with Corinne's comment, is that ultimately council will decide to what degree or what stage the property is to be altered, and by whatever date they agree to.
So you talking council, or you're talking us guys?
We would be talking to council at that point. Yes,
And that would be addressed in the site plan agreement.
correct.
All we're concerned about basically is the building.
Yeah, but we wanted to, why, I don't mean to confuse any committee members. The reason why those conditions are key, I believe, in here is just to tie the two together. Okay? So council can now move forward knowing that the committee has authorized the addition. That will be part of the site plan agreement, and they will then deal with those other matters that are tied to that actions.
And whose job is to enforce this? Say, you know, like, it gets cleaned up and then in 6 months back the way it was.
It'll be council's, that'll be council's.
It would be reissuing orders and moving forward again, if that's council's wish.
Yeah, but once the building's built,
Still, tidy yard and property standards bylaws applicable to every property, every day, all the time.
The new building has no, you know, it's a building, right? It's not,
Right.
to do with anything else.
So if items start to appear again,
Yeah,
then we would approach it again through a new
This
order.
is like any place in the township.
Correct.
Do we have any comments received on the
Just from the Conservation Authority, which Rob already indicated.
So no neighbors or anything.
No neighbors.
Freddie ended up on this.
He hasn't sent anything in.
Would anyone present like to speak to the application?
So is this like a, is this,
Chris.
sorry.
So there's no one residing in there
Nope.
other than the video production fees.
That's right. Mm.
And you use the washroom
And the
in
second,
the house.
yeah, there's no plumbing or anything in there. But the second shipping container, like, I don't know if you've seen the part where I was wanting to put like a dome between the two containers, because I got that big tractor now, and it, you know, it obviously won't fit in the building. So, like, you know, one of those, I don't know, what do they call, fabric structures or whatever, but like I wasn't sure.
You'd require a building permit for that.
But is that like, you know, I drew that on the variance, so like, is that, can we talk about that today too? Like, is that gonna, like, obviously when the time comes I'll get a building permit, but I don't wanna have to do this again to, you know, get that done, right? I don't even know if it'll, you know, it'll happen next year, year after, or maybe it'll never happen, but I just want the option sort of there. I mean, we're here, right? So.
Is that coverall going to, is it gonna be there permanently?
Yeah.
I guess his question is it, does he have to get another minor variance when he does this, or it's to store his tractor and is an accessory use possibly to the use?
How large is it?
The shipping containers are 40 feet long, and there's a 20-foot space between them, so it'd be a, you know, 20 by 40. Like, I wouldn't think I'd put end walls on it, so it'd just be like a, you know, the dome itself.
Maybe you just need the proper permits, as long as it's an accessory use to the existing use. And it doesn't turn into a fabrication. But he would need a separate application and consideration for that. It's too late to amend it now, right?
Because it's what now?
It's too late to amend the application today because it's already been posted that we're just here to hear the addition. Doesn't mean you can't do it. How about Rob and I look at the zoning and we'll get back to you on that one by email.
Right on.
Okay.
And just trying to think on my, not on my feet, but I'll just think on my feet. Is one other option is for the committee to defer a decision on this application. Because that's another 800 square foot structure that would be placed on the property. And the committee could then, Karina and I can go away and come up with our best assessment of what that building or structure is and report back to the committee, because I would hate, if the committee grants this, as we noted, another structure really shouldn't be placed on the property that hasn't been authorized by the committee, because again, this isn't a standard permitted use, it's an existing use that's recognized by your zoning bylaw. So any changes to it really need to be authorized. So I don't know how you wish to deal with that, but that's one option, I guess, is to.
Well, yeah, because the one recommendation says here that no other new buildings or structures to be placed on the property, and that would be considered a new structure.
unless you, the only other option is that the committee can authorize as a condition a coverall that would be used only to shelter an existing vehicle. That's only one other option I'd offer.
What I would like to see done here is defer this till all these conditions are met. You know, there's 5 here, that you guys got down here, and then after they're met, and then come, bring it back and talk about it then, because, it's gonna take a while to do all these things, to fix all these conditions here. I haven't got a problem with the application, but I'd like to see these things done first before we even think about, accepting this. That's my opinion, because, there is a lot of work that has to be done to clean that up a little bit. I know it's wet out there now and all that stuff, but, give them a year or something to do this and then come back to this, or you want it done right away, I don't know. But,
Well, I mean, there's 20 cars. It's not gonna, you know.
well, it's gotta be cleaned up.
Oh yeah, I know. I am cleaning it up though, right? Like
Yeah,
I just
right.
had 8 go last week, but
Is that right?
the ground's just mushy, terrible. So I'm just destroying my yard,
Yeah.
right? So if
Well,
the ground would freeze, they'd already be gone.
Yeah. Like, I haven't got a problem approving this, but these conditions have to be met first, and if Chris can do that in a timely manner, then, but I like to do defer it for a while to give them a couple months, a couple months clean up, or a month, or whatever.
Yeah, a month or
Not
2.
yard up, you said. You know, so
I
that's
mean, I'm
why
not gonna
like
build
to
it until spring anyway, or
Yeah.
summer maybe even. But you know what I mean.
We
So
could wait, defer this, and you want to pay again, would he? Because it's already,
If you defer it,
he won't have to pay again, would he?
no, it would come back to the committee once.
Yeah.
What, and that would be largely the call of the applicant, so,
Yeah.
it may be only a matter of, I think, until we get into spring and it dries out.
Yeah.
But it may be only a matter of a few months
Yeah,
before
as
he's back
soon as he
before
gets
you.
it cleaned up, come back and we'll go from there. That's,
Can I always tag it on to other applications?
that's what I would like to see done here. That's only my opinion.
So are you speaking as a counselor or as a member of
Well,
this committee?
Member of this committee. This council don't know nothing about this yet, so it's as a member of this committee. I think that's a fair way, and then we know it's gonna be cleaned up, and then we'll move on.
Well, the other piece to deferring would be, what Rob was talking about with the coverall.
And then you can bring that up then.
That would avoid a second application.
So then Chris, that would avoid a second application. If we defer it today,
you know,
then you've got the time to figure out this coverall and make that part of the variance you're asking for.
I think I put it on there, didn't I?
You did, but, the wording of the conditions makes that,
Marina.
The other advantage of a deferral and then coming back is that because it's deferred, I would suggest that the municipality then recirculate notice to especially the neighbors, to remind them it was deferred, but is now back before the committee after those matters are done. So at least they will be notified of the fact that if the coverall is included, that's also being considered by the committee at that point.
Yeah, like I haven't got a problem against building, but I'd like to see it cleaned up first, and after that, then we move on and go from there.
So is the building more for like storage or actually doing repairs, or what do you?
Yeah, working on vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
do you understand everything that we're saying, Chris, to
Yeah.
this point?
So it's just the vehicles that you're concerned that I get rid of, as far as like cleaning up the property.
I think it's the 4 conditions, Frank, is that
Yeah.
correct?
What were those again?
What's your other piece of paper? You got
Did I get that paper?
One, two, three, four, five, there's 5.
Backflow prevention, what's that?
That's depending what we'll be addressing that at building permit time, Chris. That's, depending what you're doing in the, your shop piece, where the work is, if there's any hose bibs or mop sinks, making sure that there's isolation, premise isolation, meaning you can't backfeed out of a sink, say you're washing parts in a sink and a hose gets left in there. If there was a water main break, it doesn't back siphon into the system. So we would address that at building permit time, and that's the second point, is building permits after the approvals are in place. We know that the third condition, he indicates nobody is living there, it's just for his filming operations. And then the next point is the property being brought into compliance with tidy yard, so that's another point. And the written permission from the St. Clair region we wouldn't get until he makes building permit application. And it's not common for them to give written permission until minor variance would be approved and official building permit submission made.
I think the most important one is number 4.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern, is number 4.
It would be to his advantage to such delay so that he can get that coverall put on. Otherwise, you're gonna be looking at 2 applications instead of just 1.
For sure.
Because the first condition of Rob says only 864.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the site plan is something the council will do after the minor variance is approved, the appeal period's over. It's all, some of them are sequential, but the biggest thing,
Yeah.
I believe to me,
I think if you definitely wanna build that coverall, let us delay, you get that onto this application, then we meet again.
So then I gotta make another application, or how does that work?
No,
Just amend
just
this
amend,
one.
just make changes to this one. Whereas if we didn't do that, and we went ahead with this one, you'd have to reapply for the coverall.
For sure.
Whereas here, it's just this one that we're still dealing with. You don't have to reapply. We're just making changes to it.
So are you guys making the changes, or do I gotta make the changes? Cause like I thought I already, put it on there, right? So how would I change it?
Instead of saying, doing the coverall at a later date, you say,
Now.
I think so. But if he doesn't build it within that year, how does that work?
I think it's clearly just I think it's just a matter of the applicant giving the municipality just a quick note saying that they would like the approval of this application to include that dome. So at least it's on record.
Yeah.
And then like I say, then with the revised notice going back out to neighbors that the deferred application is coming back to the committee, they'll be fully aware of what's being proposed as well. And also, at that point, the site plan agreement can be drafted and at least looked at by the applicant and by council, and it will then clearly include that as well. But with the understanding that it's subject to the variance.
Right, so right now you have nature and extent of relief applied for, asking permission to build an addition. You would then also include also a coverall at so many,
Right on.
or whatever.
So by deferring, this is gonna cost you once.
Yeah.
As opposed to approving the building and then you have to come back for the coverall.
So how long does all this take? It's not like it's gonna happen before spring anyway, it's just like how long?
We can start work on the site plan now. And then bring that to council, get the approvals needed, the agreement signed, all of that, and then come back for the minor variance, so couple months.
So like the end of March?
Let's say April, probably safe.
Right on.
Early April.
All right. So then I'd have till April to get rid of all the vehicles and whatever else. Right on.
And then there's an appeal period on the minor variance of 20 days, so then to end of April.
So what was that again?
The appeal period, if anybody appeals the decision of the commission.
Right on. Perfect.
We'll be doing building permit stuff in those 20 days. So that if there is no appeals, then we can be issuing the building permit on day 21.
Right on.
And hopefully by that time the weather will be good, and then.
Yeah.
That's fair, Chris. I think that's fair. Everybody concerned, I think.
Right on.
So,
I can summarize this all up to you in an email.
Perfect. Okay.
Any more questions, Chris?
No, I don't think so. So this is my copy.
So do we have to vote to defer?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a motion to defer this application? Seconder? Wayne? All in favor? Motion to adjourn this meeting? Krista?
Okay, thank you. Can you believe all the words they said? I wonder if they got a minor variance to knock down a friggin' 120-year-old building with no regard. Huh? Idiots! But, anyways, couple months, 3 months, gotta like clean up the cars, friggin' this, that, and the other thing. But it's like, yeah, but that's my mud truck, that's my half car, this what I'm doing this with, that what I'm doing that with, blah, blah, you know what I mean? Like, not all of them are garbagey. It's like, there's so many fucking rules and regulations and this and that, like, they don't even understand it themselves. Like, they're asking each other, well, what about this? And like, so if he does that, then what? And stuff. And it's like, holy shit, dude. Like that one fucking guy. Oh, I think this and that, blah, blah. It's like, fucking, he thinks he's just fucking king shit at Turd Island. And that's the same guy that, like, a few years ago when I went to the friggin' clown towncel meetings and shit, he was saying about how he's got to get a tire going to burn. He's got to, because your seed bags, like your feed and seed bags, they're like a mesh, sort of like a burlap sack, but the plasticky kind, right? And he's like, well, in order to burn my fucking bags and shit, I got to get a tire going. It's the only way you get it to burn. And like, Donkers there is freaking looking at him like, what are you even talking about? And he's like, well, how do you get your feed bags to burn and shit? It's like, you don't burn your feed bags, bud. You don't burn your feed bags, bud. He's like, guaranteed uses a tire to get his feed bags going to this day with no regard. Guaranteed. Because his shit doesn't stink, right? Of course. But this little guy, the center pivot looks in good shape. He's not zigging and zagging all over the road big time. K621. It's like the newer little baby sister of mine. But anyway, so I gotta like, put the application off till April, and then that'll give me time to clean up the cars, do what I'm doing, this, that, and the other thing. Hopefully we get a little bit of dryness, and then I'll just have to like, really grow the different type of the bushes and different things, and sort of, hide the vehicles more. And the guy's like, oh, Freddie didn't fucking this and that, because he knows the guy's a fucking shit disturbing fucking goof, but Freddie don't want to fuck around. Freddie will end up having to get rid of that fucking trailer he's got wedged between the fucking buildings. That fucking idiot painted my building black with tar. Just did it without even saying anything to me that he was gonna do it or that he planned on doing it, or fucking that's his remedy to stop water from coming in my building from his trailer jammed between there and stuff. But we'll get into that another time. Anyways, boys, I guess that's it. We got till April and this and that. Comply with their horse shit and they'll let me build the building, I guess. Anyways.
Don't let the watchers get you.